obviously we both have a great fun time together. We both have a very good sense of humour about things. We down to earth, take the mickey out of each other a lot. And she's got plenty of habits that make me laugh that I tease her about.
Carolyn Robb is one of Britain's leading organic chefs and served as personal chef to Prince Charles and Princess Diana, and she joins me now. Carolyn, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
You were the personal chef to all these royals for more than 10 years.
That's right, I was, yes.
What was it like?
It was absolutely fantastic. As a young chef of 22, I think it would be any chef's dream job.
And were they all sort of a bit weird when it came to their food, or
no,
were
surprisingly
they resolutely
not.
normal?
Absolutely normal, yep. Boys had a very healthy diet, had all the usual likes and dislikes of two little boys.
So come on, Prince William, what did he like and didn't like as a boy?
Oh, traditional favourites, roast chicken, crispy roast potatoes, sausages and mash, and all the traditional English puddings.
I heard he had a very sweet tooth, William.
Yep.
Loved his McVitie's biscuits.
That's right.
Any particular ones? The dark chocolate, the milk chocolate?
I think probably the milk chocolate ones he enjoyed, yeah, but it was what we did with them that he enjoyed. We used to make a fantastic chocolate biscuit cake, which everybody's heard a lot about in the last few weeks.
Very famous.
It is now.
Do you stay in touch with the royal family?
No, not really. No, it's a while since I left, and they have such busy lives and so many people in their lives. But I follow them closely. Yeah,
and in terms of their diet and stuff, there are lots of wonderful stories over the years about that everyone has to be tasted, their meals, before they get to the royals. Is that true?
No.
So they just eat it plain?
Yes, and particularly when we were at home, it was a very small setup anyway. So.
And what would you expect the wedding menu to comprise when they all come back down to the palace here? What would you, knowing what you've prepared for them over the years, what do you think they'll go for?
I think it's going to be contemporary British food. I think it'll be quite simple, quite fresh, beautifully presented, and I think they'll pay a lot of attention to the provenance of the food. So they'll want locally produced, locally sourced, possibly organic.
Prince Charles is pretty hot on all this organic stuff, isn't he?
Very much so, yes, he is.
Do you think he'll be cracking the whip with his son, saying, right, it's got to be healthy, organic food?
I'm sure William follows in his footsteps, and I'm sure he's very keen on that. Supporting little local growers and suppliers is important to them.
Can William cook? Is there any evidence he can cook?
When he was younger, when he was a little boy, he enjoyed it. And when he was at Eton College, he had access to a kitchen there and used to come home at the weekends and, can you teach me to cook this and cook that? So
did you?
Yes.
What did you teach him?
Some chicken dishes and a couple of sweet things as well. I think he was very good. He used to enjoy presenting things nicely on the plate, and he seemed to really enjoy it. I think he's a natural had he not been busy doing other things.
Do you imagine that he's cooking meals for his bride-to-be? Is he that kind of guy?
Possibly, yeah. And I know in the interview when they were engaged, there was a little bit of chat about food and what he cooked. And yeah, I think he's...
I'm told you gave him the secret to a good chicken Kiev. Is that true?
That's one of the things he enjoys.
Is that his royal signature dish?
It could be. That was a few years ago now, so I'm sure there are many others as well.
What was it when you're working for the royal family? Is it a strange experience compared to a normal job? I mean, or do you get very quickly used to it?
I think it is. When you're there, what is the normal world becomes the outside world, which seems like a strange thing to say, but yes, it's a little environment all of its own. It's like a machine that's working all on its own. There's so many deadlines to be met and different places to go and things to do. It's incredible. It was the most fantastic 10 years of my life.
Was it a normal upbringing that you observed with the kids, or just by definition of being young royals, is it all again a little strange, abnormal? Can they be normal, the royals?
I think they were as normal as it was possible for them to be. Certainly Princess Diana was fantastic in that she would take them out and do very normal things with them. Going to little local fun fairs in the village and things like that. But I wouldn't say it was an easy life for them at all, but they're just fantastic boys.
And did you feel huge pressure when you prepared food?
Initially I did.
Do you remember your first meal that you had to do?
Yes, I do. I remember that very well. Yeah, I was terrified. The details of it was all such a terrifying experience. I can't remember the details.
Do you remember the moment that...
Yes, I do. Going down
I can't imagine the pressure of that.
Yes, waiting for the butler to come back out of the dining room when he cleared all the plates, rushing through to see what was left on the plate.
Had it all been eaten?
It had.
And you said that Diana there was a good mum. You obviously got to know her pretty well over the years. What kind of lady was she?
She was absolutely incredible. The minute you were in her presence, you felt at ease, and I think that was one of her greatest gifts. I remember when I went to Kensington Palace to be interviewed by her, and obviously I was absolutely terrified, and this was a job that I was desperate to do. And the minute I met her, suddenly everything seemed very relaxed. And I remember her saying to me, well, I'm sure you must have a lot of questions you want to ask me, and that's how the interview began.
What did you ask her?
She was wonderful. We talked a lot about the boys and the food they liked. Was one of the things I enjoyed doing the most, was cooking for the boys.
Did you ever cook at the palace?
Yes, on a few occasions. Prince of Wales had some huge charitable events, so we did some events in conjunction with both the palace chefs and Anton Mossyman, who I believe will be involved on Friday.
It's a huge building,
It's
Buckingham
an enormous
Palace.
building,
And when I
yes.
try and explain to Americans that that's twice the size of the White House, at least. I've seen
Right.
both at close quarters.
Yes.
I mean, it's a massive place with
it's huge.
hundreds of rooms.
Yes,
Is
it's
it
absolutely
intimidating to get
incredible.
in there and have to prepare meals?
It was, yes, because our environment was very, very homely and quite intimate. The kitchens we had at Kensington Palace and Highgrove, and even the other houses, Sandringham, Balmoral, weren't quite as large as this. But it's a wonderful atmosphere, and certainly in the kitchens at Buckingham Palace, I can just imagine what it's going to be like on Friday. Great camaraderie, and they'll all be so excited about doing this incredible event.
And where will you be? What are you doing on Friday?
I'll be at home with my family. I remember watching the Prince and Princess's wedding. I lived in South Africa then. I was a schoolgirl, and that was very exciting. And yes, I'll be at home with my parents and my baby daughter, and I'm trying to think now what I should cook for lunch for my mother. Suitable royal wedding lunch.
Well, you're launching a new Carolyn Robb, the Royal Touch brand. What is the Royal Touch to food?
Well, I'm working on a book at the moment, which is a food memoir, which is really my journey through the years and my food experiences. Growing up in South Africa, I worked in Switzerland for a bit. I then had this fantastic royal interlude in the middle, worked in the Middle East for a couple of years, and then I had some time in California. Now I'm back in the countryside in Oxfordshire with a young daughter, and it's just seeing the world of food through my eyes, and I'm very excited about that.
And there's no one better to ask than you, really. When Kate cooks her first meal as William's wife,
Yes.
knowing all that you know about his food and diet habits and likes and dislikes, what would you recommend she cooks him? First course, main course, pudding.
I would suggest keep it very simple. It's summer at the moment, so beautiful, or spring rather. I'd say a salad to start with, or perhaps something Italian, a risotto. Main course, spring lamb. You can't do better than spring lamb, spring vegetables,
Do you like
asparagus.
his lamb, William, do you think?
Yeah, it was. We certainly did a lot of that when they were growing up. There was wonderful homegrown lamb.
And maybe a nice little plate of McVitie biscuits to finish things off.
Possibly.
I know it's not very
Strawberries and
healthy.
cream. You can't do better
Got to
than
give him a
strawberries
treat,
and
haven't
cream.
you? A British strawberries and cream.
Strawberries and cream, yeah.
That
Can't
would
do
be
better
nice.
than that, I think.
Well,
and
I
you
look
can't really go wrong with that, can you?
No, exactly. And presumably, if she wants to, she can call you for some advice, can she, Kate?
Anytime.
Carolyn Robb, thank you very much.
Thank you, Piers.
And when we come back, what the rest of the wedding week will bring here in London.
Monday Night Prime on CNN. Piers Morgan Tonight is sponsored by AT&T. Rethink Possible.